Isn't this wonderful? Yes. Good old power tools. Okay.
Hi, Michelle. Can you tell us a little bit about when you first got re-hooked up with this horse and when you saw him and if you had seen any issues?
Right. When I sold him, this horse was probably as close to a kid-safe horse as you could get. We rode him. Kids would ride him. I trusted him 110%. And that's the reason why this lady wanted to buy him, was because he was so safe. So I sold him, and I had seen him one time at a show that we were at locally, and acted a little bit different. Still was kind of calm, but he was just, there was something about him that was a little bit different. He was a little bit, maybe more on edge. And I witnessed him on 2 different occasions roll with their show saddle on, and they allowed him to do so. So in the back of my head, I thought, well, that was kind of odd. I can't believe they let him do that. He never offered to do that for us. And then I had heard that they were having some issues, so we had been in contact with her, and they had taken him to a local vet, and they had treated him for an EPM. They were having some difficulties riding him at that point in time, and so they were treating for EPM, 2 separate, like, back-to-back treatments. Then they brought him home, and they had a chiropractor that did some raking and communicating, and she addressed to them that the horse did not know where his feet were at.
And this was after the EPM treatments even?
Yes, and so we talked about that, and so then she had then contacted me again and said, I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I have a lot invested in him. The only option that she had besides me was if I bought the horse back, she would sell him to me, or she was going to donate him to the University of Michigan for, obviously, scientific purposes.
And so that they could maybe try to find out, bottom line, what was wrong, because nobody else at this point.
Right, everybody
from
had
your
exhausted.
alternative stuff to the traditional veterinarian medicine at that point was not providing a
Exhausted.
solution. So starting out as a 3-year-old, he was more kid safe than he became as a 5-year-old. And they told you that they were doing dentistry how often?
They were
during that
doing
2-year period?
power tools every 6 months.
Power tools every 6
Every
months. The
6
same vet/dentist
Yes.
was doing that, okay?
Yes.
Then you decided to give him a chance and purchase him back
I
after
purchased
that.
him back,
Okay.
and we then continued on with that dentistry.
Okay.
We did, after we purchased him, we had about 6 months, and that was in the winter time. And so then I went to ride him that coming spring, and I couldn't. It's unbelievable. He would throw his head. I actually had to bail off of him.
That unsafe.
Yes,
you
that
knew.
unsafe.
Your gut was telling you this is not going to be fixable.
Yes,
it's not
on
a
the
training
lunch
issue.
line, there was nothing we could do. He would, throw his head, and he wanted me off. So we had contacted. Then we had chiropractic. We tried the chiropractor move, but actually, before that, we had went back up to the vet that treated him for EPM, and they treated him for head shaking.
Okay.
So we did the medication, we did the UV light mask on him all the time, and we fed him in a dark stall, dark barn, and there was no change. So
Zero change.
Absolutely nothing. So we contacted the vet back. We also, he had tried a thyroid medication and some antibiotic when we were doing that head shaking. So we contacted the vet back, said there was no change. He said, I'm exhausted. I have no idea what else to do. Good luck.
And is that when you suspected maybe ulcers after doing some research, like maybe because you had mentioned anger, like that the
Yes.
horse just seemed angry to be alive
All the
in the
time.
stall or outside? So then you treated for ulcers?
We've treated for ulcers numerous times throughout the period of time.
And did you see any attitude change really with that?
Not really, not
Wow.
really. So then we did chiropractor. It was suggested that we had his withers maybe x-rayed to see if that was maybe some of the problem, that there was maybe when he rolled with the saddle, that maybe something that could have injured. So we had another vet who refused to do the x-rays on his withers, said that his neck was out of line, so we treated at least 2, maybe 3 times. But every time he would eat, he would throw his head back up, and you could hear the crack of every bone, and the spit would fly about 10 feet away from him.
So when you went to feed him, he would stand in his stall and be so violent it would actually take the adjustment out. You could hear the popping
Yes.
and then...
You could hear it cracking and spit flying. So that, we ended up just stopping. It was kind of a waste of money. So here we are, we've just turned him out to pasture
And no grain at all.
no, we've taken the last month, we've taken the grain completely away from him just because him kicking the walls, kicking the stalls, that can't be good on him either. So we try to keep him out as much as possible, but even when we bring him in, when he would start to eat the hay, that's when he would get a little angry, but we took the grain completely away.
And that kind of just took that, it did make the problem go away, because as soon as you reintroduced the grain, even after a month later,
Yes,
it
yes.
started right as we saw, then that was
That
like,
was the
nope.
first time, yes.
So keeping him off of it did not reduce any kind of inflammation, that it actually made a substantial difference.
No.
Well, let's take and see what we can do to the horse and see if we can resolve these problems. And Michelle and Jackie Strand, you've had Jackie work on the horse before?
We did, about a year ago, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she recognized that it was in the mouth and...
That's how, yes.
Yeah, well, that says a lot for Jackie. She's seen it, she's very experienced in it.
Yes.
And being from Michigan and being massage therapist, very well known in the area, and we need more people like that to help owners say, hey, this is the issue. Let's look at this. Let's get this out of the way first. Then we'll approach everything.
Right.
So good. And okay, and we had a dentist working on the horse under the direct supervision of a veterinarian.
Correct.
Okay. And it's we're in a state with who are respect the rights of the owners. So we're good to go.
Perfect.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tom Howell. I'm from Crawfordsville, Indiana, and I'd like to talk to you today about what you're watching here and give you a good idea of what this is all about and how important it is. You just heard the testimonial of Michelle and the problems that were brought about for her horse to Equine Dentistry under direct supervision of a veterinarian. And through her testimonial, you'll see that this horse was misdiagnosed 6 times by 2 veterinarians. And the problem was initiated under the direct supervision of a veterinarian. And what this should do is give you a good idea that the understanding that the veterinarians have about equine dentistry and how it affects the whole horse. Because when you go inside of this horse's mouth, you are affecting every square inch of this horse's body, inside and out. I don't care if you just grind on one tooth, you changed everything. Everything got changed. And if you don't understand this and you're in there grinding teeth, if I can take it to a good place, you can surely take it to a bad place. And if you don't understand this, my question is, if you're the one doing the work, are you taking this to a good place or a bad place? Because you got to be right every time. This horse's life depends on it. And that owner is depending on you to know, and the reason you're there is to help that person with that horse, just like Michelle here. And all they've done is turn the horse into a train wreck. Not only was it having issues eating, as you can see, the part you don't see is she can't ride this horse. This horse is dangerous to anyone who is around it. Think about the liability that Michelle and her family face with this horse, because let's say the neighbor's child come over and was around this horse and got kicked. Who's going to stand responsible for that? Well, it's going to be Michelle and her family. Not counting the family whose child got hurt. And it was all initiated by Equine Dentistry under a veterinarian's supervision. What I have to say is, what did supervision, a veterinarian supervision, contribute to this? The only thing it contributed was he was there to sedate the horse. And that's what I'm talking about. You just witnessed me doing this horse unsedated. And toward the last, I was down on my knees. That's because this horse knows what you're doing. He understands, because his life's getting better and better every time you go in there and come out. He's not going to stop that. And but anyway, you're going to get to see what he looked like, how he ate after we got done. It's mission accomplished. And it only took a few minutes, and it was unsedated. So why should Michelle have to pay for a veterinarian to be there? All right. The other thing is, whenever the dentist is there and you have a veterinarian present, you're not going to see that lay person be very talkative. And the reason why is on account it's like having daddy looking down over your back on every little move you make, on anything you say, because if you so much as slip and say anything that can be misconstrued as diagnosing, you're in trouble. But with the vet not there, the dentist is or whether it be chiropractor, massage therapist, or body worker, they feel free to talk to you. And they see something that needs to be addressed by the veterinarian, they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you. And they're going to tell you what they think, their opinion is what the problem may be. But usually you're not going to get that if the veterinarian's there. They're going to be closed mouth, just go in there and do what they do and get out. Because I know that feeling, because I work under some veterinarians. And not saying they're bad people. They're definitely not bad people. They're real good people. But that's just the ground that we play in there. Now, Michelle, her horse almost lost his life. Well, I'm going to tell you something. This is not an isolated case. This is epidemic. I see it all over the country, from one end of this country to the other. And it's time to do something about this. Because the veterinarians do not have the training that most of your lay people have. They don't have that understanding. They don't understand motion and all the things that affect motion. They have a law in place that no one here in Indiana, and there are some other states, but there are states that they get this law in, and the lay people and the horse people get it out. But this isn't just horses. This is anyone who owns an animal, whether it be a dog or a cat, a pig, a cow, chickens, llamas. This law applies to all those creatures, all of them. And it applies to all the lay people who have been trained to work on these animals. And let me tell you something, if you call a lay person to come and work on your animal, you're asking that person to break the law. And if that person is willing to break the law to come and help you with that animal, I think we owe that lay person, I think we owe them a phone call. Make another phone call to your governor and your state representative. Let them know how you feel about this law, because this is your animal. You are 100% responsible for this animal. But the problem of it is, see, we have laws that says you are 100% responsible, and you should be. But we have laws that's going to hold you to that. But the problem is you only have limited authority. And history has shown that 100% responsibility and limited authority doesn't work. Never has and never will. Because you're limited as to who you can use on that horse or that whatever animal. You're limited, but you're held 100% authority. Because they don't understand dental and the whole horse, is they're seeing things that they think that are diseases, or you're not feeding the animal, or it's an old horse. And in many cases, it has nothing to do with it. And here's an example. Look at this horse here real well. Look at this horse right here. Now, this horse was looked at by a veterinarian. He drew blood on the horse. The blood work come back clean. He couldn't figure out what the problem was. So he assumed it was some dreaded disease. He just didn't know what it was, but he wanted the horse put down so it wouldn't spread. Well, the horse was taken to another place, and I came in and done the dental work. This is the horse right here, 30 days later. And nothing was changed. The feed wasn't changed. And by the way, this is an 8-year-old gelding. And nothing was changed. All we done was went in and done the dental work, and this is the end result. The horse went back to his regular job, became a very competitive performer, and all was well. The horse didn't lose his life. And but there's a lot of things in the horse. Well, you just seen Michelle's horse. You just seen Michelle's horse being diagnosed 6 different times. Everything from EPM, head shaker syndrome, to thyroid. Even had a chiropractor come in and look in 3 different treatments of ulcers. And it's because they don't understand how this here affects the whole body. This will affect the lungs, the heart, the intestines, the kidneys, liver, all soft tissue. It'll even affect the horse's eyesight, saliva glands, flash acre muscles, posturing, and performance and behavior. And a very experienced dental person will recognize these the minute he lays his eyes on that horse. You'll see horses that are, the rear pasterns are, both of them are swollen up. Not one, but both of them. And in many cases, you can go in there and do the dental work on there and go back in about 2 to 3 weeks and you'll see all the swelling's gone. What's going to happen if your vet sees that? He'll most likely inject them. And is the problem going to get solved? No. But it's just because they don't understand this. And it's time that the lay people have their opportunity. And because 90% of all advancement that was ever made in equine dentistry, chiropractic, massage therapy, body works, farrier work, your horseshoer, has been brought forth by lay people. Not your veterinarians, lay people. And why would you want a law to stop that? Okay. And but anyway, I do horses unsedated, and most of these other lay people, they do the same thing. They do them unsedated. Why should you as the owner have to pay for a veterinarian to be present while these people, these professional people do their job when they don't even understand it? I would like to see that changed for the sake of the horse and for the rights of the owners and for the well-being of the lay people. And anyway, if you can call that lay person to come and work on your horse, you're asking that person to break the law. I think we owe it to all the lay people that you call and ask to break the law to fix your horse. I think we owe it to them to call your governor or your state representative, and this is the number you give them that you'd like for this law to be changed. That's your horse. That's your right as to who works on them or not. And you shouldn't have to pay for something you're not getting. And most of your horse people, they call the lay people. And the reason why is because they know what they do works. Ask your lay people. When you need a chiropractor, you gonna call your vet. If you need a dentist, you gonna call your vet. You need farrier work, you gonna call your vet. Go around to your friends and ask them who are they gonna call, and see who they call. There's a reason for that, because these people are professional in what they do. But then again, if they get caught helping you, you request them, you call them to help you fix your horse, they can get arrested because they want to help your horse or your animal, whatever one it is. They want to help you. And anyway, please make the call. Your horse is worth it, you're definitely worth it, and so are those lay people. So let's get this law changed, because if I can work on that horse unsedated, and there's plenty of other ones that can do it also, you shouldn't have to pay for a vet to be there. I'll give you a good scenario on that. I have a truck that'll run 100 miles an hour. Speed limit is 55 in most cases. Should I have to have a police officer sitting in the front seat with me just in case I might speed? No, I don't think so. And as far as the responsibility and 100% responsible for the horse and not having authority, the scenario to that one is, I want you to build me a house. I want you to use professional craftsmanship. I want the best materials and I want it done on a certain date, which is a reasonable amount of time. And oh, by the way, I have friends that you have to use on this project, and you can't be telling them what to do, even though they don't even know what the end of a hammer is. What did I just do to you? I asked you to do something, but I gave you limitations. Now, how's that going to work for you? And that's what this law has done to you as the owner of an animal. You're 100% responsible, limited authority, just like Michelle. She had 100% responsibility, but she had limited authority, and you see where it got her. This is everywhere, and it's time to change it. Let's turn the lay people loose, let them do what they do best. Let the vets do what they were trained to do, and that's sedate the horse and injuries and things of that nature. So anyway, please, let's make the call. Thank you.
Hi Tom, Jackie Fran calling. Wanted to give you an update that the horse you did for Michelle, she rode yesterday at a walk-in trot with no head tossing. So that is a huge accomplishment. So congratulations, and I just wanted to let you know that the horse, that you saved his life. So thank you, Tom. Bye-bye.